What's up? What's up, everybody? We are hopefully doing everything correctly. I'm sure Macintosh will be in here in a minute to tell me that I'm doing something wrong, but I am doing something wrong. Oh, wait, hold on. I know what I did wrong this time. Window. There we go. Okay, well, let's get rid of the seal. Now we're live, and it was that close. Almost that close. Oh, what's going on, everybody? Hour Guard Podcast with you, Mark Doherty, class of '98, along with Michael Merrick, and with us. Yeah, 1 year behind. With us is also Jerry Foltz, class of '98, one of my classmates. Long day, dude. Long weekend. And also with us, Chris McCullough, class of '96, 7.
Yeah, you got it.
6. I was right. Okay, it was one or the other. That's right. He was only there 1 year when I was there. But hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I know it's like 20 degrees below nothing up here in Philly, and I'm freezing. But other than that, Thanksgiving was good. Went to my dad's. Family came down, so we had our little get together like always. How about you guys? What'd you guys all do?
We actually had a small Thanksgiving this year. It was me, my grandmother, and my youngest son Logan. My oldest son, he went with his girlfriend's family to their Thanksgiving, and then my fiance and our little one, they had a great big family get together, with their family. So
hey, Jerry figured out how to unmute himself. What about you, Chris? What'd you do for Thanksgiving? Anything fun?
Not a damn thing. I hate people. I don't even like my family.
It's funny. He hasn't changed in like 20 some years.
No.
No, I'm still stupid. I can't turn the video on in this thing.
There's a little camera thing,
Yeah, it ain't working.
He'll figure it out. Jerry was muted a minute ago, so it's okay. We're all a little behind on technology. What about you, Jerry? How was your Thanksgiving? You there? He might be there. He's not muted.
Jerry.
He's trying to figure it out, I think. Oh, he unmuted. There, he's muted. He might have to go. Yeah. Oh, Chris got his video working at least. All right, we're one step ahead here.
Oh my God.
We're getting better at this.
Oh Lord.
Oh wait, hold on. No, we got to do this. We're doing it while Jerry works on his audio. We're doing this. Hold on.
Oh, Jesus, I already know what's coming.
Oh my God. Of course, as I'm doing this, I'm seeing names, and it's like, holy crap, I forgot all about these people.
Right.
There we go. There's a big difference there, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's funny. We've all come a long way, so I can't say nothing. I'm not any better. I'm not, you know what? I'll do it. I'll embarrass myself. Why not? Yeah. I do it to everybody else. Yeah, that was back in the day.
Yeah.
Contacts are a wonderful thing, by the way. What's that?
I said I had hair back then.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, everybody says that. They say, why do you always wear a hat? I'm like, you wouldn't understand. Like, you just wouldn't understand.
What was it, last week?
Yeah.
You pinned it.
Yep. I said
and
that.
I never thought about it like that.
I'm telling you, dude, it was 3 years of God forbid you walked outside without a hat on. And
There we go.
oh God. That picture hasn't changed much from the one before it, so.
No, I know, right?
The only difference, I think, is there's a lot more width in his.
Yeah, I definitely put on some weight.
But no, like I said last week, Chris, and I'm telling you, dude, I blame military school. Like, I constantly wear a hat. The second I walk outside and I feel that breeze, it's like, dude, I'm missing something. And I'll run back in the house. It's crazy.
Yep.
So Michael doesn't have that problem because he ain't got no hair.
Everything else.
It became a part of you, you know?
Yeah, it did.
So I was telling Mike a little bit ago, I actually came up with a question a little bit ago because I was waiting on a Amazon package to arrive. Because we've been playing, so the last couple of weeks we've been playing Uno. There's like 6 or 7 of us. We all play Uno, and you know how Uno gets. It gets a little violent. The stack gets this big. So we got tired of shuffling cards, so I got like one of those old, the card shufflers for like $10 on Amazon. So I was thinking, as I was sitting there waiting on it, I'm like, so what games, and I'm not talking like football, baseball, intramurals. What games outside of when, obviously, Michael, you and I talked about the computer age coming in, but other than all that, like what card games, board games, what all do you guys remember playing at school? I know poker was.
What the chess club?
I remember that, but I'm talking like just in the buildings, like just shooting the shit in the buildings, because I do remember. What is it they used to call it? When you were room confinement, what'd they call it? What did we used to call it when you couldn't go in somebody else's room? I'm drawing a blank. Martial law. So I remembered somewhere I got pictures, and I forget who it is. I'd have to look. But I got pictures of martial law and like the table in the doorway and one guy in the hallway sitting playing cards and the other in the room. And you're like, well, we're not in their room. But that was I started wondering that. I'm like, I remember playing poker. Obviously, the computers were just starting to come about. But like, I remember poker. I remember, obviously, Uno was an old classic. But like, what else did you guys, like in your buildings, what did you guys do?
Well, I know in Annex, the big thing was rolling dice. The dice game.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can hear the dice hitting the floor still.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't think
the
we
only
had
other
it.
one that I know that was popular was handball.
Yeah, handball court. Well, that was the 49 thing because it was closer to their building.
Yeah.
They always dominated the court. Well, that until Captain Burlington blew a hole in the concrete with one of his experiments. We talked about that the other week.
Oh, yeah.
I think it
missed that.
It was after you. It was my senior year. We were talking. So
Mixed with
I forget what it was. He told me too. When I went to the building dedication the other week, we were talking about that. We got into talking about. He actually asked me, and it was a valid question, Mike. You can relate. Electric cars in the fire service, and I'm like, dude, that is like a black area that nobody wants to go into and discuss. Like, it's for those that don't know, a Tesla, for example. If a Tesla catches fire, it takes 12,000 gallons of water to extinguish that fire. So that's why firefighters don't like it. We only carry up to, I think, most of our bigger trucks are 1,000 gallons before you get into tankers. So, that's a lot of water. And he had made a comment about it. He goes, oh, you remember when we used to blow things up on the racquetball court and, that one year that I, put a hole in the concrete. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, yeah, I remember that. And he told me what the chemicals were. And I'm like, man, I should have wrote it down because I could be doing stuff at home, But
I know, he cut, I think it was like a cut straight sodium.
Sodium was definitely one. And I don't remember what the other was.
I don't know if it was sulfuric acid or...
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I'd have to ask him. But yeah, it was so funny. He said that he's like, yeah, remember that time? I'm like, yeah, I said it exploded and we weren't looking up at the explosion. We were looking at the concrete going, oh, you're in trouble. Yeah, that was after you, Chris. That was, I think, my senior year or close to that. And it was just funny. Like, it wasn't a big hole. I mean, it was only, you're talking 2-3 inches, but it was definitely noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, we never did nothing like that.
he missed all the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The other one was who was?
Yeah, you guys started getting lenient.
Lenient?
Yeah.
He said lenient.
Yeah, you guys
I don't
started
know.
getting lenient.
Michael, you might remember. We had, and I don't know if Jerry's fixed his mic yet. We had a building officer, and I think we might have discussed this. And I'm trying to remember his name, but do you remember who it was? I want to say he was in the big classroom in 49. And you remember that big old wooden and steel desk that was in there? You remember who it was?
Yeah.
You remember who it was? One-handed, flipped the desk completely 180 on its top.
That was the guy that was the retired top sergeant. And he had a bit of a drinking problem, for what I understood. That's why he was only there half the semester, and then Bakai came
That's
in.
somebody, yeah. But do you remember what his name was? Because it's not. I don't think it's in the yearbook.
It wasn't in long enough.
Yeah.
Let's hold on.
That's all I remember was and I don't remember. I don't. I want to say I was in that class, but I can't remember. All I know is that the story was he literally one-handed grabbed the bottom of the desk, lifted it up, and the desk literally did a 180 and landed on its top.
Yeah, that guy apparently had quite a temper.
I just remember he was very short-tempered.
Yes.
Like you said, there may have been drinking involved.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember if he was in here or not.
Yeah, I looked in my yearbook, but I didn't see it. So this is why I keep these here. Yeah, no, I don't see him because Balkaya's not even in here. Actually, come to think of it, there's not a whole lot of officers in this one.
No, there's not.
Oh no, Balkaya is in here. Okay, all right. So yeah, that's why he wasn't in this one.
98 or 99.
He was 98. So Campbell, that's who the other one I was thinking of. Campbell. We used to call him Duck.
Oh.
Jerry can alliterate on that one if he gets his mic fixed. We used to call him the Duck because that's how he walked. He walked like a duck. He was the one. I think he was.
49 that walked that way.
What's that?
Wasn't there a kid in 49 that used to walk that way?
I don't know. I don't remember.
He was in my class. He was there for like the first 2 or 3 years. I don't think he graduated with us though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just double checking to make sure it's nothing on my end that's screwing Jerry up. It's not.
Okay, yeah, there is Balkaya.
Jerry, go into your. Oh, there he goes. I hear him. I heard him. He made a noise.
You hear me?
There we go. Hey, we got him fixed. Yeah, Discord's a little funky.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on. It would not let me talk. I could hear you, but it wouldn't let me talk.
Yeah, you're fixed now. We can hear you. There we go. Let me get that off the screen. There we go. But you remember Campbell, Jerry? When we used to call him Duck, and we used to quack when he walked into the hall. Man, he used to get so salty when we would do. He'd be walking down the hall, and we'd be hiding in our rooms, just start quacking. He'd get so pissed.
Yeah, he didn't like that too much.
No, he didn't. Oh my God. Jerry, do you remember who the officer was we're talking about? He the guy that flipped the desk over 180 with one hand. He was like an old retired drill sergeant or something, or a higher up sergeant. He was only there like a half a year, and then Balkaya came in. Because they ended up getting, it was right around Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. It was around Christmas they got rid of him. But I can't remember the guy's name. Drawing a total blank. And it's not in the yearbook.
Yeah, I can't either.
I can see his face. I remember what he looked like, but I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah, I'm completely blanked. Yeah, because he lasted until Christmas, and I want to say it was that desk incident that got him in trouble, because that was right around Christmas, and they ended up getting rid of him, and that's when Balkaya came in. So, which you got to think about it, man. The logistics of hiring somebody for a school like that in 2 weeks in a heartbeat like that's got to be tough, man. You know, to find a teacher that can handle a school like that, I mean, that can't be easy. Well, obviously, because we ended up with Balkaya.
Balkaya, the guy that when we went to Camp Carson that year, somebody had caught a fish and supposedly like he ripped its head off, drank the blood out of it, and then ate it raw or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I must have been sleeping for that one.
Crazy like that, and I'm like, dude, what? Because like he was the Greek army or something like
It was.
that.
I
Or
was.
something.
If I'm not mistaken, it was Turkish. He was like the Turkish army or
Oh
something.
yeah, Turkey. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it. Hold on. This picture's right here. I just had it up too.
I heard there was. I don't know if that was true or not, but somebody said that he like they caught a fish and he asked to have it, and then he ripped it open and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you can do this. It's good."
That
Yeah,
was him.
that guy.
Yep, that was him. Yeah, he was. I believe it was Turkish army. Another one I forgot. Another one I forgot all about. I didn't even realize until I looked at that. Lieutenant Grange. I forgot all about him. Let's see who else
Was
we
he the
got
tall
here.
black guy?
Yeah, yeah, big guy, man, muscular. He was a big
Oh
dude.
yeah, they sent him. They put him with the zoo.
Yeah. Let's see, Lieutenant Snell, Lieutenant Bauer, both Quitex, who I know are still on Facebook.
Yeah.
Sergeant Stone, God rest his soul. Captain Beasley, I forgot about him.
Oh,
Morgan,
he's the one
Bricknell.
that got Ryan expelled.
What's that?
He's the one that got Ryan Murphy expelled.
Yeah, yeah.
Graduation.
I still like Rizzo tapping into the phone lines in his room. That's still my favorite.
Wait, what did Ryan Murphy do? Because that was after I left.
If my memory serves me correctly, him and Captain Beasley got into a disagreement about something. And I guess Beasley felt threatened by Murph.
Oh, God.
And Colonel Holman had a hard-on for him because apparently they had a disagreement about God only knows what. So Beasley called Boohoo into Holman that I guess he was disrespectful and threatening and whatnot. And then he booted him out. And I remember that night because me and Chan Prung were in room 3 in Annex, and Captain Robinson's apartment was literally right above our dorm, and we were just about to sleep, and all of a sudden we heard Robbie loud. I mean, he was chewing somebody's ass out, and him and I are looking at each other like, "What the hell is going on?" And so the next morning at formation, because I was drum major, I was standing behind the platoon. And here comes Captain Robinson coming down to formation. And, of course, I salute him. Good morning, sir, whatever. And he just salutes me. He goes, yeah, what's good about it? And I saw the look on his face, and I'm going, there's something wrong. I said, is everything all right, sir? He goes, Murphy got kicked out. And I felt my eyeballs pop out of my head, and I was like, you're kidding me. And I'll never forget. He turned and looked at me with that, demonized look on his face. He goes, does it look like I'm fucking kidding? I'm like, no, sir. Sorry. Because him and Ryan were him and Murphy were close because he was on the football team.
Yeah. He was Murphy. Murphy was his golden boy.
I left him alone the rest of the day.
Here's another one for you, and this goes back to Chris's days. Lieutenant Todd Bernstein.
Oh, Bernstein.
Oh my God.
There's a name you haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, there's one. There's one for you.
And here's one for Jerry. This one's for you, Jerry. Dan the Man, the Big Red Truck Peterman.
Yeah, Dan Peterman. Captain Peterman.
Yeah. I tell you what, dude, he was about the most chill building officer you would ever meet. I don't think anybody ever got in trouble. No gigs, no nothing. He just did not care. And it was like, we all look forward to it because it was him or Greco that we had. And I know Greco's on Facebook. I think he's down in Florida. He's doing good. But it was either
living above Greco.
Jerry had his room right above Greco's apartment. But
yeah.
So Peterman was the most relaxed building officer I think that I could ever recall in that place because he didn't care. Like he just literally had no cares. And if he was on that weekend, man, in CH, it was just a free for all. Like everybody just did what they wanted. But yeah, he
rarely came up during the weekend if he was on duty.
Yeah, almost never. And I honestly, and I'll say it, I think that was the nail in the coffin. Like everybody talks about Criminal Hall, because obviously 98 we had, I think it was 30 or 45% kicked out ratio. Your year, Michael, I think it was over 50%. That was the year that everybody had their own room, but I think, and I'll say it, I think it was because Greco and Peterman left. Because if you think about it, when they left, Greco had been there for a while. John was there for a long time. Peterman was there for a while.
Graduate?
What's that?
Did you know that Greco actually graduated from Carson Law?
Yeah, I heard a rumor about that. I never saw it in a yearbook or anything though. So it's funny because when they left, the next year, 96, 97, we had Quitech, and I don't remember. I'd have to look. I don't remember who the other building officer was. Jerry, you might remember. And we had another building officer, but both of them were new. And the first year, we just kind of like ran all over them. But by the second year, Quitech like knew the system, and we knew not to mess with him. He was pretty cool with a lot of us, but we knew not to mess with him by the second year. And then we had Duck.
That little piss ant. I can't remember his name. He was
97. I
can't remember it. He was a.
I just remember that year we ran all over them. Like we got away with murder. Bauer was junior school. Quitech. Lieutenant Groff, Bernstein, Morgan, Bricknell. See, this says Greco was still there, but I don't remember. Was Greco there and then left? Because Greco is in the 97 yearbook. I thought he left after my first year. Maybe I'm wrong.
2 years, maybe.
Maybe I'm wrong. He might have left halfway. I just remember that one year, like we ran all over them because it was like all new building officers, and it may have been 97, 98. I do 20 years ago. I can't remember. But
I remember being some little pissant. Like
you're not thinking of the Duck, are you?
No, because he was our building officer with Quitech.
Yeah, because they were both new.
Yeah, it wasn't Bricknell. He was 49, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was 49. I'm looking.
49.
All right, let's see.
He was some little girly boy. I swear I remember him.
Campbell?
You know who he's talking about?
Was it Campbell?
Yes.
I think you're right.
Yes,
There was
that little.
guy
Yeah.
That's right. But yeah, we like ran all over them, man, and it was just a free for all. And then by our senior year, Quitech kind of like he had a feel of the school, so we kind of knew not to mess with him because everybody was getting building hour guard and everything else.
Who was that other guy? Keep going. I gotta look up. There's somebody else in my head, but I don't remember what his name was.
Oh, dude, there were so many people. You had. It's funny because you had the senior staff, and I'm talking like Burlington, Bricknell, Grove, Somerville, Robinson until he left. You had the guys that were there for a long time. They knew the school. And then you had the guys that were like at the bottom of the totem pole that were clueless and had no idea.
Yeah.
Politely put.
You guys had more of that after I left.
Yeah, my first year with you, it was all senior. It was all senior staff. Like you look through the 96, the 96 book. It's all senior staff, man. It's like guys that have been there. Like I said, you're talking guys that have been there for a long time. So Colonel Stewart, and Colonel O'Hara, God rest their souls. Major Brown ran the ROTC. We didn't have who was the other one?
Lieutenant Butler.
Who was it?
Butler.
Yeah, we didn't have Lieutenant Butler yet. It was Major Brown. Tahara, oh crap. Major Grove, Major Kamoli, Miss Graney. There's one that goes back a ways. Anybody know she's? Chris, you would know. Is she still around?
I have no idea.
Like I said, I know your uncle or whatever.
My mom's ex-boyfriend lives up
Yeah.
in Shermansdale.
I should have asked Burlington. Burlington, Greco.
Get Mr. Miller.
So I got to show you this. Hold on, because I know exactly who drew this in my yearbook, and it's gonna be a little hard to see on the camera. But if you look at Greco's head, somebody in this Discord who will remain nameless drew that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what did you say to him in study hall the one day? It was something about waxing his head or something, and I just remember even Greco turned around. It was so funny. He turned around. He's like, "I'm not even letting you get in trouble for that because it was so good." I don't remember
Dude,
what
the
it was.
glare off of the top of his forehead shined off the lights, and it was like blinding. It was so distracting in study hall because every time he moved, it was like a flash of light.
So I'll say this one. My favorite Captain Greco moment. Jerry, you might remember this one. We had I don't know what the hell was his name. It was a short little black kid, and he was a troublemaker, dude. Big time troublemaker. Always getting in trouble. And Greco made him sit at the front of study hall because obviously he was causing issues. He fell asleep. He was sitting like this and fell asleep. And Greco just leans back like this, and he's sitting in the chair the whole time. And everybody in study hall is dead silent, dude. We knew. We were watching, just waiting to see what he did. So we're sitting there, like 10 minutes goes by. Greco throws a dictionary at him. He wakes up, and he's like back to writing, and he's like, "Whoa, what happened, sir?" And Greco's like, "Don't give me that." He said, "You were sleeping." He goes, "No, I wasn't." And Greco turned around and goes, he said, "Son, you had drool coming off your chin that was doing this." And we lost it. He's like, "You had drool and it was just like hanging there." But I remember that, man. He threw the dictionary at him, beamed him right in the head, too. Who else we got here?
The only thing I remember is Greco made the best buffalo wings for the Super Bowl party.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, and I never had buffalo wings until then. It was the first time. Who we got here? Somerville, Robinson, Bricknell, Captain Morgan. I'll probably say this name wrong. Jazuski? Lieutenant Kerry Jazuski? Yeah. Peter. I don't remember him.
Yeah. He was another odd character.
What building was he?
Who?
Junior school.
That's probably why.
Yeah, he was in junior school.
Peterman, Lieutenant Wesley Huff. He was lieutenant military, actually, wasn't he?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You can tell by the picture. Let's see. Lieutenant Barber, I remember him. Bernstein, Lieutenant Trout, another one. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of you look at these.
I forgot about him.
You look at these. A lot of these names are guys that had been there for a long time. So now we jump 2 years ahead, and we'll compare that to '98, and you see the huge difference here. Like some of the old guard or whatever you want to call is they're still here. Obviously Colonel Holman, Colonel Tahara. Now at this point we've had Colonel Butler. That's what it was. Lieutenant Colonel Butler. Rodney Grove at that point he had stepped up to commandant. Major Camoli was director of the middle school. Burlington, Somerville, Robinson still, Bricknell still, Morgan, Captain Beasley he came on board. So there's a new one. 2 Quitechs, so there's 3. Lieutenant Bauer. Was this it? Lieutenant Snell. Was that it? Is that who I'm thinking? To flip the desk?
Who?
Snell?
No, that wasn't him.
Okay.
Let me see his picture.
I kept thinking that was him, but I don't remember. It's on the bottom corner.
No.
That's who I was thinking of, but that might not have been him.
I don't remember. So you got Snell. Who else we got here? Belkaya, Grange, Campbell, Duck. So here you got all new guys. That's my senior year was a lot of these building officers were new guys, that had never been in the school before. So, yeah, Chris, you missed a lot of the fun after you left.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounded like musical chairs.
Oh, my God. You have no idea. Hold on. I got to do wrong book. Hold on. I got to do this because we showed everybody else's. There it is. There it is. There you go, Jerry. That's all you.
I'm surprised I wasn't in sweats.
Oh, that's great. And look, it's still in the top corner. Pierce. He knows what that is. So his dad was fire chief for a long time, actually, out in Ohio. And that our senior year, his dad had purchased their company had purchased the new truck, at the time, I was not a Pierce person, and Jerry and I used to go back and forth all the time about that because we had bought a Suffin and they had bought a Pierce. So, back in the day. Just trying to read some of these comments, man. Holy crap. So, this is what you wrote to me. You said, it's been one heck of a year. It was fun while it lasted, and this is definitely a Jerry phrase, but I just want to get the hell out of here. I think we all did.
Yeah, now I would go back.
Yeah, you're right. You look back at it, and it's like, I'd go back in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
It's funny. But, yeah, it's crazy, like, how much, just in those 2 years, how much that faculty changed, and it did, and I hate to say it, but it didn't get any better after that. You know, like I said, we all said it. We all said the same thing. When Colonel Holman retired, the school retired. You know, I mean, and I truly believe that. You know, the following years, like I said, being so close, it was nice. You know, the following years that we used to go up, and you know, we used to even just like I said, downtown. They knew it was 12 o'clock. They didn't have to wait for the fire siren. They knew it was 12 o'clock because they heard the school. They heard the students. You know, later years, I would say probably 05, by 05, 06, and it was like the sounding off wasn't there. You know, the further the years went on, the lower that volume became. And that alone, to me, was a huge change. And not for the better.
But it became more of a private school in those years.
At that point, yeah. It wasn't so much the military as it was more the like it was college prep for us, you know, and I think we can all attest to that. But it really became college prep in the later years. You know, that military aspect was there, but I think Michael, you had said it best. The structure was not there. You know, when Colonel Holman left, that structure just it went away.
It collapsed.
Yeah,
I remember. I think it was the first or second year after Holman retired. I had gone up for alumni weekend, and Yanofsky was there. And we were standing up on the steps of Centennial, and we were watching a parade, and we were watching how they're marching, and Yanofsky looked at 49, and he looked at me, he goes, "That's not my building." He goes, "Look at that." I mean, he was just, you know, the outer step. They're not, you know, yeah, I mean, they looked ragtag.
Yeah, it was completely different. You know, it wasn't what it used to be. You know, it really changed over those years. It really got, I don't want to say it got worse, but I mean, in all retrospect, it did. But it was like the sharpness wasn't there. You know, the marching wasn't there. I guess the words I'm looking for is the dedication and I don't want to say loyalty, but like, you know, we all had it. It was in our blood. You know, you can sit here and deny it all you want. It was in our blood. You know, we knew what we had to do. We did it, and we went home for vacation in summers. But toward the later years, it wasn't in their blood. It wasn't like, it was like you said, it was a private school, and that's what it turned into. You know, and it's a shame to say that, but you know, it did. I think Colonel Holman leaving, you know, you couldn't walk across campus and you saw him a mile away, and you were running the other way. You know, him and there were maybe one or two other faculty members that if you saw them, you went the other direction. You wanted nothing to do with it. You know, you would turn around and walk all the way around campus just to get back to your building so that you didn't have to cross paths with him to hear, you know, why is your uniform untucked? Why is this? Why is that? You know, you literally went out of your way for that. You know, later years after he retired, it was like, dude, how many times you used to hear it? And you guys back me on this. How many times did Colonel Holman sit there in a meal, mainly lunch, because it was always lunch, and he would sit there and say, I had somebody come up on campus the other day and said a cadet didn't salute them. So we're going to have a discussion on how to properly salute, and you're going to repeat after me. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Remember, I mean, all those lunches that he used to do that, and you didn't walk past anybody without saluting them, you know, good afternoon, good evening, whatever. You know, it was buried in our heads. And again, later.
Remember when we used to do the thing too, when you were officer of the day, and you had to answer the phone, you know, good morning.
That was the other one. Yep, yeah. Everybody repeat after me.
And he would randomly call just because to see.
He wanted to make sure. Yep.
God help you.
It'd be like 8:45 at night, and he'd call the office. But I mean, but that changed too. Like toward later years, like 05, 06, we'd go up there, and it was like kids would walk past you, and you're like, you're waiting, and they walk like you're not even there.
Yep.
Like that dedication to the school wasn't there, and like, I know Chris is out of the four of us. I'll say it. Chris is probably the least in all that. How many times you used to sit there and tell me, "Let it go, let it go." Did you not? Chris would sit there and be like, let it go, let it go. But like we said a couple weeks ago, what did the school mean to you? Well, did it have an impact on you? Absolutely. It did, and I truly believe that Colonel Holman leaving was it. You could have wrote it off that year; it wouldn't have mattered. But
when you guys were there, how many cadets did you have that were there for 1 year?
Oh
Oh,
Christ!
God.
Oh my God! Yeah, dude. Half of our battalion staff, and love you guys all to death. Not trying to nitpick anybody, but literally over half of our battalion staff were second-year students.
Yeah. So, our battalion staff was a minimum of 3.
Yeah, Jerry, you did all 4 years, didn't you, or were you the same as me?
I did 3.5. I came there halfway through my freshman.
That's right.
That was the worst.
So there, here again.
Through the year.
Well, other than he wasn't exactly the best student in the world. He graduated what? Sergeant or staff sergeant, I think.
But that's because I got busted down.
Yeah. But again, here you got guys that were there. I mean, I could go through that book and pick out 20 people in our graduating class that had this in seniority versus the people that were actually on the staff and this and that. But again, and that's how it was. Like any school, if you play football, you play baseball, you're good at this, you're good at that, you advance. And okay, I get that, but in the same aspect, we had guys like you said, Chris. We had guys that were there 3-4 years. I mean, Zeiderbits, Christ, they were both there all 7 years, 4 or 5, 6, yeah. Both of them were there all 7 years. And granted, they both graduated high ranks. God bless them. But we had a lot of new guys, man. I mean, Christ,
fucking Zeiderbit.
The only kid that I remember in my grade that graduated that was there all 7 years was Wisner.
Yeah. Oh, God rest his soul, man.
Yeah,
God, that kid lived there.
Yeah. So Shaw, obviously battalion commander, old Danny, they were both there for a while. Our sergeant major Ajib, he was that was his second year, I think. Something like that. I don't even remember Savelli was our company commander. He was there for a while. And then they put Moore in. I think Moore was only a 2-year. Who'd you guys have for B company? I'm trying to look.
Which year?
My senior year or your year. I'm trying to see who we had.
I have
sergeant.
to look because I don't remember.
Yeah, Moore was. Moore is in this book as S2, but he was our company commander. So I'm wondering if that was because.
Yeah, I think he got moved.
Yeah, because that was after Savelli. Oh, that's right. Murray was there for a while too, wasn't he? I thought. No, 96. So yeah, 96, 97. He was a 2-year.
My junior year, it was Sue Front that was company commander.
Oh yeah.
And then my senior year, I want to say it was Jason King, if I remember correctly.
God, there's a name. There's a name I ain't heard in a while. It's Emotion.
Yeah, he was.
Man, so I got to go through these, man. I haven't been through these in a while. Richards.
Yeah.
Moore, Mufti, Ismail, Jason Lehman. Him and I were pretty close. Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm back with him. I don't know whatever.
He was on Facebook, I think, and then he kind of just disappeared. I know he's from Pittsburgh. He's from Harrisburg. He's from Steelton, so he was local. But yeah, no, I do remember that we had a lot. Like your senior year, Chris, was all. I think staff and company commanders were all like guys that had been there for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah,
for the most part. I don't even remember who the hell it was. Who was it?
On staff.
That's right. Troncoso was our BC. Yeah, Troncoso and Howard.
Being there at least 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had Eric Sampson. Wasn't he on staff?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like S1 or S2, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm looking. Command Sergeant Major was Deegan. I remember him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Hey,
him.
look, Diaz, you're in here. Oh God, Friends. There's a name I ain't seen in a while.
Oh, Jesus.
Company Commander Willard Hall, Haith. We won't go there.
Yeah, I don't know where he got him.
Chris knows about that one. He can. Yeah, that's all you, buddy. Company Commander Hendricks. I remember Hendricks.
Yep, Michael Hendricks.
House. Is some fat kid named McCullough. I don't know who that is. Oh God, McCoy. He was McCoy was head waiter, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ran that place like he owned it too, man.
Hey, you know what? That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah.
That was great. He went and did his grades, and then he did that. That was it.
He didn't
He
have
didn't have nothing to do with anything else.
he didn't have to go to 90% of the lineups. He was smart about it.
Yeah.
Kind of like somebody else I know. I'm going to break my knee and then not do anything all year. Sampson, first sergeant for A Company.
Yeah.
Squad leader, A Company commander. There you go. I was going to say Teeny. So, funny thing about him. So, I noticed this the other day. Did you ever watch Titanic? The movie, like the famous movie Titanic. You know, there's one of the officers in that. I swear is his twin, dude. I'll have to send it to you guys. I'd swear it is his twin. Actually, I just had it up the other day. Let me see if I can find it. I was watching that the other day and that hit me. I had to pull the yearbook out to refresh my memory. But Teeny. I don't know if you remember Teeny or not. Hold on. There you go.
Bruno Teeny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about him too. But yeah, I remember him now that I see his face. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to find this here. Hold on. Iceberg scene, because that's where it is. Here we go. Hold on.
Oh, Lord.
You fucking... I did not drop the F-bomb. Nobody heard that.
Well, you can't swear on here?
I don't know. Yeah. That's 10 push-ups, yeah. I don't know how many push-ups I used to do because of that.
Man, push the hell out of here. He's doing that shit now.
Hell no.
There you go.
No.
Tell me, and it's going to be hard to see, but tell me that don't look like Teeny.
No shit.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, doesn't it?
Am I wrong? I caught that. It was right where they hit the iceberg, that scene, and Murdoch runs back in to tell him, hard to starboard, and that's when I saw it. I'm like, oh my God, it looks just like him.
So, McCollum, because you were in 49, what was the deal with Troncoso when he got busted down to sub-cadet just before graduation?
What, having he got in trouble?
Yeah.
You and I talked about this, Chris, and I don't remember what it was now.
I mean, everybody friggin' knows. What the hell was that kid's name? He was in Belfry. He had a brother who's younger than him. I can't remember his name.
The Marcus brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
They got in trouble for hazing him and Deegan.
I remember the name.
Oh, that's right.
For
Yeah,
the last month
hazing.
of school. It was like a month left of school.
This was before we did individual pictures. Yeah, underclassmen were all.
Way before.
Yeah.
It was like, I think we were like 2 farts away from getting the yearbooks. They got in trouble.
Only 2?
2 farts away. That's awesome.
I mean, that's how close it was to the end of the year.
I remember that. It literally was like we were just coming into June week or something. Yeah. If that. I don't even think it was that.
After Camp Carson. It was way after Camp Carson. It was way after like the last full break we had. It was like, I'm telling you, it was like a month away from graduation. It was like the beginning of May or something.
Hazy.
Because I had just gotten all my shit back, sort of. I had just gotten ranked back myself, and then he got busted.
Where was it? I just saw it. I don't remember what yearbook it was. I literally just saw it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, dude, what?
We never had hazing in the school. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Never.
Published in the yearbook.
Never. Never had any of that. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't
Yeah,
either.
what's hazing?
Right?
Yeah.
I had somebody at work say that the other day because I got we have a Marine and we have a I don't want to say former Army because once you're in, but we had somebody else that was in the Army, and we were talking about that. And I said, "Yeah, man," I said some of the hazing that used to go on in my school, and or one guy that no military, he's like, "Well, what's hazing? You want to find out?"
Yeah.
Like, we can show you. He goes, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Give me a blanket, a sock, and a bar of soap. We'll show you."
And tell me not. Every movie night, you got some kind of movie. In 49, we always got either Taps, Platoon, Full Metal Jacket. It was like, okay, cool. We learned a new trick.
Well, Jerry will remember when we got. I
You
think
watch Full Metal Jacket.
'cause
Like,
what
all
year was-
weekend long, people were getting hit with bars of soap and towel.
what year did that come out? Full-
Oh, see, in CH we had all the New Yorkers, so
so.
we got like Boys in the
We
Hood.
got them too.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was it? Friday, I think it was. It Friday? Was Friday one? of
Yeah,
them?
don't be a menace.
Yeah, Don't Be a Menace. That was one.
Juice.
Yeah,
Don't
Jews.
forget
It all
Jews.
depends on who got to pick out the movie on what kind of movie you got.
Yeah. See, me. Mendez and Valenzuela would jump up to that damn office to get the movies.
Oh, dude, I remember that, man. As soon as they'd ring the bell, it would be like 6 people just running to the office.
Mhm.
Get something good, get something good, and then they come back, and you're like, oh.
And then remember,
And then you just had the movies people brought.
Yeah, and and they were never new releases. It was always old
no.
stuff.
And they were always bootleg.
Yeah,
come out that-
you always see people walking by in front of the.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know about y'all over there in A Company, but for us in Annex and Belfry, there was people that would bring a couple of movies that were unrated.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, so I got since he's in here now, I got to bring this one up. So I'm still to this day huge wrestling fan. I have been diehard Undertaker since day one. Literally the day he came out, I started watching. So I picked a win. I picked a winner there.
I'm the Toys R Us kid.
So this was around. It was our senior year. It was around the Kane Undertaker era. For those that know,
Yeah.
some of us that didn't have to go to certain lineups. I'm sitting out there, and Jerry knew I was diehard Undertaker, dude. Diehard. Jerry knew this. I'm out, like, we're literally 2 minutes before formation. And he opens the window up from the TV room. Doc, get up here, get up here. I'm thinking, like, something fucking happened, dude. You know, like he fell or he took his knee out again. I go running all the way up to the building. I go running up into the TV room, and he's sitting there giggling, smiling, watching wrestling, and here Kane and Undertaker are fighting. And I'm like, you called me up here for this? And he's like, well, I thought you'd want to see it. He no sooner says, I thought you'd want to see it, and the trumpet starts pounding. I'm like, crap, so now I got to run all the way back down, run all the way back out. Dude, I just made it in order, and just in enough time to, like, call fall in. And he's up in the TV room. You can hear a pin drop outside, and all you hear is Jerry in the TV room laughing. It's like, oh, I'm like, you dick.
Yeah, somebody in our building, I don't remember who it was, they had a copy of the unrated version of Showgirls.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that got played a lot until, I think it was Somerville that found out and confiscated it.
Oh.
Even that bad.
Oh, my God.
Somebody in our building had their own little tiny TV and a VHS player, and they brought that the anime porn.
Oh.
Ah.
Did they get in trouble for self-hazing?
Yeah. They never got
That was
caught
funny
with it.
when they-
You know what? They never got caught with it. You know why? Because people know how to shut up.
Yeah, back then. Not our senior year. Freaking our senior year, everybody and their brother got in trouble for the littlest stuff.
We did. We knew how to shut up.
Oh, my God.
Because if not, you got beat up.
Exactly.
Yup.
Snitches got stitches.
Exactly.
Damn right.
Who was it, Jerry? We had, literally, I kid you not, dude. Like, everybody's seen Full Metal Jacket. And we had...
We did it for our play.
Yeah. So
'Cause I was
they
by the pile.
they found out one year that I could sound off just like Lee Ermey, and for a while I did it at lineups, but I had to stop because every time I did it, I'd start laughing at myself. And we did that for our senior play, and we did a couple scenes from Full Metal Jacket. But my favorite one was still when I played Captain Burlington, and he was.
Oh yeah.
I love him to death, but he was dumb enough to give me his hat and his lab coat, and I'm like, you understand what you just did by giving me this, right? Like you know what's about to happen.
Wait, is there video proof of this?
No, but I got witnesses. Trust me.
I remember it.
So, well,
I would pay money to see that.
I would pay money to see it myself, dude, because it was hysterical. So it started out. I think Jerry, you were were you in that one with when I did Burlington? I don't remember who. I know Jason Lehman was in it.
Major Grove with the eraser.
All I remember was I had two scenes. The first scene was in the dining hall. I had to play the officer of the day. And, they did the whole, they read off whatever the kid who got in trouble. They read off his general order. And they would look at me and I had to be like, this food is good enough for government work. Amen. And I would turn around and walk away. So then 5 minutes later, mid-scene, they were like, Doc, you got to do this. You got to do... Chris is dying over there. I'm telling you, somebody's got to have this on VHS.
But you think it's funny, but he was our building officer.
I know.
That's even funnier.
So then 5 minutes later, I think it was Jerry or Lehman or you, Michael, somebody put me up to it, and they're like, don't tell anybody you're going to do this. Nobody knew I was going to do this. Not even the people doing the play. So you remember in the back of the chapel, there was you had like the stage, and then there was the walkway. You could walk from one side to the other. They put me up to it. They're like, you got to put his lab coat on. You got to put his hat on. And when they're mid-scene, they're like, you got to walk across and do the Captain Burlington bop as you're walking. So I did it, dude. Even Colonel Holman was laughing. You couldn't even hear what was going on. They had to stop the play because everybody was laughing so hard. I got to the other side, dude. I fell to the floor. I was laughing so hard, I literally fell to the floor and I was dying.
Nah, the one I used to get was, McCullough, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
He'd be at his temples. Like, really?
Remember when there'd be the one time that he would completely flip his shit and then just start throwing stuff across the damn class?
And then he would lose his track of words. He couldn't even get a sentence out.
He lost his shit in one study hall.
I gotta lose the sweatshirt. Hold on.
That was all it took.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Nicest guy in the world. Respect him from here to heaven. But damn that man, don't piss him off.
No.
Oh, I love him to death too. Like I said, I had lunch with him, last time we were out there and all. I mean, I love him to death. We're good friends, but it was just so funny. They're like, it might have been Lehman. He's like, dude, you can't even tell anybody. You just got to walk from one side to the other and do the bop. And I did it. And everybody in crew, I thought I was going to get in trouble. And I looked over and I saw Colonel Holman doing this laughing. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, because he's sitting there trying not to.
Yeah, exactly. But it was so funny. But yeah, and I don't remember who came up with the phrase because they're like, well, we want you to do the prayer, and I'm like, dude, I'm not like going through that whole Colonel Holman spiel. And somebody handed it to me on paper, and I'm like, that's perfect. And I was like, this food is good enough for government work, and I just walked away.
Man, I'll tell you what's funny is I used to cheat in his class, and I sat right in front of him. His desk was literally right in front of my desk. And I'd put those papers on the floor and scoot them under his desk and then pull them out. Because he always had the test with that paper that he would give out. And I would just put it on the floor and then scoot it under his desk.
I know.
He never knew that.
I know Lehman would remember this. And I still joke with Rodney Grove about this. I know Lehman remembers it. I don't remember who else was in our French 2 class. There was only like 6 of us. And you remember not the chem room, but the one next to it, his den, as he called it, the little classroom. So you had that
the Rush Limbaugh friggin'
with the green lamp on his desk.
Yeah.
So you know that he's got that door that goes to the outside, and at the time that was Rodney Grove's apartment. So I always kind of sat in the back corner, and I don't remember if it was snowing that day or what it was, but I like scooted back and I was watching out the window, and he was doing his por favor blah blah blah, doing his French thing, and none of us were paying any attention, and I ended up falling asleep against the door, and I was out cold, and the next thing I remember, Rodney Grove opens the door. I fell flat in the snow, and all I hear is Major Grove turn around and say, "Oh, you got to watch them doors. They'll jump out in front of you." And he turned around and casually walked away. I was like, "Really?" And Burlington's sitting there, and he goes, I guess you learned your lesson, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, we ain't doing that again."
Yeah.
It was so funny, though. He just casually walked away the way he's like, "Oh, you got to watch out for them doors," and then just walks away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like Grove.
I don't even remember. I honestly, thinking back on the plays, like I remember the senior plays. It was always like skits of something about the school, and I don't even remember any of the other ones because all I ever remembered was the Captain Burlington and the hat thing, and it was just so funny. I don't even remember any of the other ones.
I remember Major Grove. Every time he gave a test, he would always be in his little place, and he was always cleaning a gun. Like every time
We had
took a
that
test,
discussion.
he was always cleaning a gun.
We're setting one off.
Has everybody got a half a sheet of paper?
Oh my God! Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, half a sheet of paper. You got to cut it in half. Pass one over.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. I was just gonna say something. What the heck was it? I just lost my train of thought. We're getting old. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. So what was it? The not orations, where we used to have to get up once a week and talk in front of the school and talk about something. What the heck did they call that?
Oh, the Senior Literary Society.
Yes, Literary Society. All I remember was you prayed to God that you didn't get Captain Burlington because it was always going to be about military vehicles. Like any other teacher, they didn't care. Like if the group said, "Okay, we're going to do, Star Trek, or we're going to do how to play chess," or, if everybody agreed to it, they were good with it. And you ended up talking about something that you knew. It was something you could relate to, so that even if you screwed up, because you couldn't have cue cards, so that even if you screwed up, you could BS your way through it. And all I remember was Captain Burlington had all those slides of all those military vehicles, and it was always about like a Panzer or like some kind of Japanese dive bomber that you knew absolutely nothing about. And we prayed that we didn't get him.
Wait a minute. You guys had to write yours, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, let me guess. You just BS'd your way through it.
Nah. Captain Burlington had them all printed out. We've been saying the same shit for years.
Just read this.
Oh my God.
He'd give you the little pamphlet. This was what you had to read, and you gave it back to him when it was done.
Wow.
That's why we won every year.
Cheaters.
That is true.
Oh,
Every time we're like, all right, well, we got to memorize this week.
All I remember is my senior year. I was like, thank God I'm like I'm an NCO, and I don't actually have to give the speech. All I got to do is introduce the people, and I can't screw this up. And I ended up screwing it up anyway.
Well, who was the kid that was doing it from CH and said it was an 800-mile hike to Camp Carson? You don't remember that?
No.
No.
There was a kid one year. He was like, "Yeah, we're during the 8-mile hike to Camp." It was the weekend before Camp Carson, and CH had to do the Literary Society on what we're doing at Camp Carson. And he was like, "Yeah, we got to start the 800-mile hike."
Oh my God. I recall two students breaking into the ROTC room and then escaping the school, and they found them at Camp Carson because that was the only route they knew out of the area. I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was Ashley.
I want to say it was those two.
Well, maybe it was.
I don't know.
I remember Wisner did something, and he ended up getting on GO for the whole rest of the year for it, but they didn't kick him out. And I forget what the reason was, but they said we're not getting rid of him. He just let it go. But I don't remember
Probably 'cause
what
the
it was
kid
he
lived
did.
there. They couldn't kick him out.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah, we talked about that one the other week. I said, yeah, when I went to summer camp my senior year after I graduated, it was like an all free for all on campus. It was great. No rules.
I'm gonna cut you guys loose because I got my mini boss on my phone and she's wanting to talk to Daddy.
Yeah, we're about an hour here, so I guess we can cut it out. But thank you guys. It was definitely a good time.
Always.
Hope you guys have a good week. I don't want to go to work tomorrow because this was definitely a long weekend, but you guys definitely stay in touch, guys. And for those listening or going to listen later, we'll see you guys next week sometime. I'll post up when we're going to do it. I'll get with everybody and see when we're available. But you guys all have a good one.